Tonight, as I'm talking to you, between 12 and 20,000 teenagers will be sleeping on the streets of Los Angeles. I'm Chuck Henry, and this is Hollywood, the runaway capital of the United States. The stories that you're about to see may shock you, but I'll tell you one thing for sure, they're not unusual. So open your eyes and take a good hard look. These could be your kids, LA's teenage runaways.
Estimates that range from 1 million to 1.5 million kids run away each year.
I've been raped 4 times.
I would love to say, F you, get out of my face, you're bothering me, but I can't.
When we're out on the boulevard or something, it's like, well, we're going home. This is where we come, right here.
Without the sandwiches, I would be hurt. You are what you eat, and I guess I would be a Covenant House sandwich.
Where are you guys from?
Utah.
Yeah, how long you been out here?
6, 7 days.
Yeah, and what are you doing?
Living on the street.
How long have your feet been in like that? That might get infected if you don't get in to see somebody. I can arrange that for you, too, if you come in and see me.
It's tough out there, and you have to be tough, you know, to survive.
Introducing the latest scratcher from the California Lottery.
One woman, 92 personalities. The real Trudy Chase on the next Oprah Winfrey Show. Monday at 3 on Channel 7.
I left home when I was about 15 and a half. I realized that I'm on the streets and it's tough out there.
It's like playing Russian roulette with your life.
If you're hungry, you know, you just go into one of these dumpsters.
I'm scared every moment of the day.
Don't come to Hollywood thinking that you're gonna find your dreams, because you're not. Because dreams are shattered here.
Candace ran away at the age of 12. She became a transvestite and child prostitute.
When I was 12 and 13, I had all the attention I wanted because I was young, fresh meat to a Trick or a John. And by the time I was 16 and 17, it was like nothing of me left. A 20-year-old compared to a 12-year-old is nothing. And that's just the way a Trick feels.
These are kids that are in need.
Kids whose families have fallen apart, who've suffered abuse.
Those are the kids that are targeted for prostitution.
I think it's worse than people could imagine.
Kids do get killed. The harsh reality of living on the street.
More and more kids keep coming.
Finding a lot of kids out there that are out of gas, and they're beat.
The damage of the streets is tremendous.
There's a mess out there.
Estimates that range from 1 million to 1.5 million kids run away each year. And we think about 1/3 of those kids have some kind of brush with prostitution. Most of the kids that get involved in prostitution have a history of being sexually abused in the home. So sexual training goes on in the home. I mean, and when you ask kids on the streets, how do you feel about doing this with strangers? They say, I'd rather be doing it with strangers than laying at home in my bed and waiting for my mom and my dad or my stepdad to come into my home. You find that a big part of the market of prostitution, particularly juvenile prostitution, is white middle class, because the customers, the people who frequent prostitutes, particularly kids, are white middle class people, and they come from every kind of profession.
Who's gonna save me?
Basically, I go out in the van and drive around, talk to the kids, see what kind of services they need, let them know we're there to help them if they need any help. You have to search them out in their own environment. They're not going to come to you. You know, you pull up on them in a van, you know, they don't know who you are. In some cases, they've been raped, they've been abused at home. You know, it takes a lot to get a kid's confidence. Good girls. Let me see how they're doing. Where are you guys from?
Utah.
Yeah, how long you been out here?
6, 7 days.
Yeah, and what are you doing?
Living on the street.
Doing okay so far? Staying out of trouble?
No.
Think it's time to go home yet?
No.
Bad scene at home?
Yeah.
You guys staying someplace you think is safe?
Street.
You want to get off the street? You know, you don't necessarily have to go home. We have a shelter. The office is right up the street. I could sure take you to get some sandwiches.
Buddy? Yeah.
Okay, come on.
We won't get in trouble, will we?
Not at all. Okay, when's the last time you ate?
She said it.
3 days ago. Why would you wait that long to get something to eat? If you knew about Covenant House, why didn't you give them a ring? Didn't want to, or afraid they were going to turn you in?
Yeah.
We don't do that. They don't, and we don't. That's not what we're about. I'm going to ask you guys just a couple of questions while you're doing that. So just for some statistical information.
Hey, you need some shoes, Katrina?
You're really 19. Okay. And your name?
Katrina.
With a K? A-T-R-I-N-A? And what's your birthday?
April 1st, 1972.
Nothing bad was going on at home?
I was raped. That's why I left.
Yeah. Somebody you knew, or?
My dad.
Okay. And your name?
Stormy.
You have a last name?
Johnson.
As far as you're concerned, do you need any kind of counseling or anything, do you think?
I went through it. Counseling.
You've been that route?
3 years.
Yeah. Is anything else I can do for you tonight, aside from you need some clothes and something to eat? That's about it for now. You haven't been staying in any of the squats? You know what a squat is? It's like under the freeway, burned out building, no place like that?
We ain't no troll.
You pretty much walking around all night and sleeping during the day somewhere? Okay. I noticed a guy was talking to you that had pulled up in a car right before we pulled up. What was he talking about?
Prostitution.
Yeah. Told him to get lost, huh?
I told him to hit the road, Jack.
Well, that's good. So you think you might be ready to go home in about a week, huh?
Or 2 days.
In 2 days? That sounds a lot more practical to me. Why don't you want to go now? What have you got to do to keep you here if you haven't eaten in a couple of days? What are you going to do out on the streets? You're just going to end up getting in trouble eventually, don't you think?
Yeah.
We don't want to see anything bad happen to you guys. How long have your feet been in like that? Get you in to see a doctor tomorrow if you don't want to get off the street tonight. That might get infected if you don't get in to see somebody. I can arrange that for you, too, if you come in and see me. You guys are sure there's no way that I can talk you into coming to the shelter tonight? Nothing I could say would convince you? So you guys will come in first thing in the morning, you promise me?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just real hard to just let them walk away, you know, after you talk to them, but sometimes you just have to do it and let them make the decision on their own because you can't make it for them.
Stormy and Katrina did not show up the next morning, and they haven't been heard from since.
The philosophy of Covenant House is that it's crucially important to let kids know that there are people who care and that they have options. In the case of Covenant House, we rent motel rooms to put up the kids because we don't want to turn any kids away. But more and more kids keep coming. We desperately need a larger shelter, more beds, but throughout Los Angeles, the problem is just overwhelming. This is a place where anywhere between 5-10 kids are holed up, living back in an abandoned hotel. It's a real tricky spot to get to.
Hey, guy.
Hey, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good.
All right.
Well, I just don't want to get busted or anything like that.
Okay, you want to hand me the stuff?
Actually, we're very lucky that we've got this place. Very lucky. There's been a few scares of, you know, owners and stuff like that coming in, boarding up. We try and keep it the way it is. undisturbed.
The water works, the toilet flushes.
Covenant House coming in. Here you go.
You know, to us, this is home. When, when we're out on the boulevard or something, it's like, well, we're going home. This is where we come, right here.
Without the sandwiches, I would be hurt. If somebody said, you are what you eat, then I guess I would be a Covenant House sandwich. Yeah, I eat an awful lot of these things. I'd just be in a world of hurt without it.
It's tough out there, and you have to be tough, to survive.
Americans are busy, yet somewhere between here and there in here, they find time to do a thing called eat. That's when those who know find a 7-Eleven. The only place they can grab a fresh deli sandwich and a super big gulp, or a quarter-pound Big Bite and a cup of fresh brown 7-Eleven coffee and still have time to enjoy them. You could take your appetite somewhere else, but those who know satisfy theirs at 7-Eleven, the sign of the times.
Your Mitsubishi Motors dealer is bursting with ways to help save you money on all our award-winning cars and trucks. During our inventive incentive deal days, the savings keep getting higher and higher. Now you can save up to $2,500 on Galant by combining factory-to-dealer incentives and a special value package, including air conditioning and AM/FM cassette. So come in now while the savings are in the air.
Inventive incentives at your Southern California Mitsubishi Motors dealer now.
People are coming from everywhere to play the $10 million blockbuster video game. Because the more you play, the more you can win. Win instantly or collect game pieces to win. Trips to the new Universal Studios Florida where you can see the stars and ride the movies. With transportation by U.S. Air, America's most frequent flyer. Or up to $100,000 in cash. Millions of prizes in the $10 million blockbuster video game. Drop in and play.
Wow, what a difference.
Politicians and corporations are spending millions to pass Propositions 118 and 119. They say it's about reapportionment. The allocation of population into discrete districts. Big corporations are bankrolling that double talk? Oh, yeah. But what they really care about is power. So don't be fooled. Common Cause and the Sierra Club say no on 118, no on 119. Stop the reapportionment fraud.
I would love to say, F you, get out of my face, you're bothering me, but I can't because they could turn over and point a gun in my face and say, sorry,
I guess maybe I've gathered experiences, just adventures, just to get adventures, just something to write about or something to draw or something to sing about. But I've had enough. I really have. Anyway, so now I'm working and I'm living in this this Catholic house with nuns, and it's all right. They treat me well, and I'm doing good.
3 weeks later, Johanna was back on the streets.
Can you spare any change? Dime or quarter or something? All right. Have a good one. Just looking for something to eat, man. Can you spare any change, sir? Cigarettes. Nothing, huh? Not even a dime. Okay, well, thank you. Can you spare any change?
I actually can't.
You can?
I can't.
Oh, I don't understand.
Sorry, actually, I do have 20 cents.
Okay, thanks. Thank you. I'm almost there. Thanks. Bye.
It's not bad considering, you ask for money and somebody gives you some money. But kind of can get me down. I don't like to do it much. I only do it when I really need it because it's, I don't know, my pride. It's my pride.
Oye, ¿tienes cambio?
No tengo, mija.
Como 25 cents, man.
No tengo cambio. Puros billetes de $100.
No, gracias. Está bien. No, está bien. No, it's okay. Forget it. It's all right. No, it's all right. I just want some change, man. I'm just looking for a meal, and I'm not into, hustling that. You got any change?
The offers that come my way when I spare change are too much. I mean, I'm just out there looking for change. I'm not out there hustling. On the average, I do it for like an hour and a half. I make about $5-8. I never do it when I don't need it. It's not like I go out there and like, do it for profit or something. It's just to get by.
Do you guys spare any change? A dime? Quarter? I hear it rattling, man. Yeah, all right.
People say hello to me. They don't know me, they don't know me like a sister. You know,
You can't spare any change now.
they say hello to me. They don't know me, they don't know the troubles I've seen.
I was raped. He asked me for a ride, and he looked like a nice dude, and I really needed a ride because people were bothering me, men were hassling me left and right. And once I got in the car, he locked the doors, and he, did what he did, But it happens, so.
Am I their scarlet, not their queen? Know what I mean? Nothing is for free.
I left home when I was about 15 and a half.
Nothing is for free.
My parents were never around. They're workaholics, well off, worked hard, good people. But there was not enough good time spent in the family. The family we weren't whole.
A contractor, he had this place to keep his tools in, and he said, can't believe we're on the streets, why don't you just sleep here? I need a bathroom. It's like, that's the only problem. I have to use the bathrooms around town, so it's kind of a drag, because, if you go in and say, can I use your restroom? They're like, okay, sure, fine. You can only wear out I'm wearing out my welcome. We play our music, I do my drawings, we do our shadow dancing. It's great. It's like animation on the walls, My song is called Am I Their Scarlet, Not Their Queen? And it's a song about basically being hassled, not being understood. Not being understood. But only being understood in that one way, in that lustful manner, or whatever that is. I would love to say, F you, get out of my face, you're bothering me, but I can't, because they could turn over and point a gun in my face and say, sorry.
They say hello to me, they don't know me, they don't know me like a sister, or even a friend. They say hello to me, they don't know me, they don't know the troubles I've seen, or that I bleed in the light of the sun. They tell me they can give me all that I need, if you know what I mean.
Can you spare any change? All right, thanks.
Am I their scarlet, not their queen, if you know what I mean? Nothing is for free. Nothing is for free.
Announcing the world-class value in family sedans at a very special price. The Hyundai Sonata.
Sleek, stylish,
Powerful.
fuel inject power,
4-speed automatic with overdrive.
air conditioning,
AC,
sure thing,
cool air,
cool sound, stereo, 2, 4,
6 speakers,
sound,
big Sonata, big, roomy,
family room,
dependable too, 36,000 miles,
warranty,
rack and pinion,
power steering, stabilizer,
power disc brakes too. The midsize Sonata from Hyundai, now specially priced at just $10,809. For more information on this world-class value, call 1-800-826-CARS.
If your car just doesn't know when to quit, try a tank full of Unical 89. 2 octane points higher than unleaded regular. It could make your car go and stop better.
Americans are busy, yet somewhere between here and there in here, they find time to do a thing called eat. That's when those who know find a 7-Eleven. The only place they can grab a fresh deli sandwich and a super big gulp, for a quarter-pound Big Bite and a cup of fresh ground 7-Eleven coffee and still have time to enjoy them. You could take your appetite somewhere else, but those who know satisfy theirs at 7-Eleven, the sign of the times.
This is it, America, the week we've all been waiting for. The week America's Funniest Home Videos awards one of these 14 incredibly lucky finalists the incredibly large grand prize of $100,000 on a new one-hour special Sunday.
But wait, if Sunday's too far off, tonight you can impress your friends by being the first to pick your favorite home video when Channel 7 previews the 14 finalists of America's Funniest Home Videos. Tonight at 11, only on Eyewitness News.
Coming on video cassette, a story of love, friendship, life, and afterlife. Richard Dreyfuss, Holly Hunter, John Goodman, in Steven Spielberg's Always, coming June 14th from MCA Universal Home Video.
I mean, I'm scared every moment of the thing, because the world is not a nice place. It's an adventure, you know. It's like going to an amusement park. You know, you go uphill and downhill, and like a roller coaster. And then you have, you know, your scary parts. I've been raped 4 times, and I was scared every single time. No matter how nice somebody is to you, you always have your doubts. I mean, I've had people act as though they were my best friend, turn into my worst enemy in a matter of seconds. And that's what we all need is a friend, somebody to lean on. Nobody wants to be there, though.
Enjoy that. Yeah, I will. I come from a single-parent family, basically, ever since I was 12. I started doing drugs and smoking marijuana when I was 13, 14, and it's just like a sad story of a drug addict, you know. You know, eventually my mother caught on to the things I was doing, and she said, you have to leave. So I hit the street, like, literally hit the street. I was sleeping in alleys, abandoned cars. I would be lonely sometimes, and I would think to myself, you know, where's this person that I wanted to be, you know? Whatever happened to this popular guy in school, you know, that everybody would like and everybody wanted to hang around with, and people used to say I was bright.
I always liked acting. I always wanted to get back into it. I'm really happy to be in this class because it's really good. There's a lot of love in this class.
For once in my life, I want to do good, you know what I mean?
Covenant House sent me on a job search. I found a job at the Hollywood Diner. It's a nice job, you know. It just feels good to be earning honest money. For the first time in my life, I feel like there's some hope. Ever since I can remember, it's the best feeling I've had.
There's danger in the air. They call them Firebirds.
Riding in the gunner seat of this aircraft at 150 knots through the treetops is like riding strapped to the nose of a bullet. That sound like fun?
Firebirds, rated PG-13.
Friday, May 25th at a theater near you.
Recently, Four-Wheeled Off-Road magazine took this year's 4x4 of the Year winner and all the past winners and conducted a head-to-head showdown to determine the best of the best. So who won? Who do you think? There are a lot of 4x4s out there, but there's only one Jeep.
Get 1,000 cash back or 0% financing in Jeep Cherokee.
See your California Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
Honey,
it's almost 7:15.
Oh, advance in morning. Yeah, guys.
Ooh, nice tie.
Thanks.
I'm out of here. Not without breakfast.
Oh, it's George. Are there any donuts or anything?
Who ate the pizza? This is a lot smarter, guys. Smart Start? Cereal bars. They're from Kellogg's.
Kellogg's cereal in a bar.
Smart, huh? There's raspberry. These are pretty good. Let me see that. Mom. Guys, I can get them in lots of other kinds.
Smart Start cereal bars from Kellogg's.
We can have these every morning. You're getting smarter already. No, I am.
Give your day a smart start.
Americans are busy, yet somewhere between here and there in here, they find time to do a thing called eat. That's when those who know find a 7-Eleven. The only place they can grab a fresh deli sandwich and a super big gulp, or a quarter-pound Big Bite and a cup of fresh ground 7-Eleven coffee and still have time to enjoy them. You could take your appetite somewhere else, but those who know satisfy theirs at 7-Eleven, the sign of the times.
When I was 12, my mother kicked me out because she was an alcoholic. I came out here as a virgin. I got raped. After that, I got into prostitution. I hit bottom. When you're prostituting, at least takes care of your food, or if you sleep with somebody, at least you have a roof over your head. That is pretty low because you lose all your self-esteem. It just makes you feel horrible. You know, you feel like dirt.
Our story does not have a happy ending. Only about a third of all teenage runaways are ever reunited with their families. And what's really interesting is that social workers tell us that when these kids are located and their families are notified, most of the families say they can't come home. They have no home. They're nobody's kids, and yet they're our kids. I'm Chuck Henry. Good night.
They say hello to me, they don't know me, they don't know me like a sister, you know, or even a friend. They say hello to me, they don't know me, they don't know the troubles I've seen, or that I bleed in the light of the sun. They tell me they can give me all that I need, if you know what I mean. Am I their scarlet, not their queen, if you know what I mean?